the police have berated a 22-year-old man for allegedly defiling a 3-year-old girl in Ifetedo area of Osun State. The police also paraded 16 suspects, others for various criminal offences. Rafiu Hamid has details.
The suspects are 17. They were paraded for various crimes ranging from robbery, kidnapping, ritual killing, and unlawful possession of arms. Among the suspects is a 22-year-old Mustafa Olawale, who allegedly defied a 3-year-old girl at Garage Olode in Ifetedo.
A young man here is Adewale Mustafa, is 22 years. The mother of a child, they were living around the same place with the mother of a child. The mother now said that he should take care of, she's going to a place, that brother, just take care of this 3-year-old girl for me. The 22-year-old boy now had carnal knowledge, begin to raped the little girl. And when the mother came, the mother suspected something was wrong, and he was arrested subsequently, and the girl was taken to the hospital.
Other suspects paraded confessed to the crime committed, and the police vowed to charge them to court on completion of investigations. The police also rescued 2 persons who had earlier been threatened to be killed by kidnappers if they failed to pay 3 million naira ransom.
These kidnappers, they are fond of threatening the people that they want to kidnap. They say if they don't bring so amount of money. In this case, they asked for 3 million naira. And when the people that were threatened told the police, as they were taking the ransom to the place, they wanted to collect the ransom. That was when the police saw them. On the side of the police, they began to shoot at the police.
Items recovered from the suspects include locally made pistol with live cartridges, a motorcycle and a car, cutlasses, among others. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.
Outside Nigeria, a Human Rights Watch report has accused the Saudi border guards for the mass killing of migrants along the Yemeni border between March 2022 and June 2023. Hundreds of people, many of them Ethiopians who crossed war-torn Yemen to reach Saudi Arabia, have been shot dead. Migrants say they had limbs severed by gunfire and saw bodies left on the trails. The report also accused Saudi officials of killing hundreds of women and children out of view of the rest of the world. The Human Rights Watch wants Saudi Arabia to immediately and urgently revoke any policy to use lethal force on migrants and asylum seekers. They also want concerned countries to press for accountability. The Human Rights Watch report said there was no response to letters it sent to the Saudi Interior and Defense Ministries, the Human Rights Commission, and Houthi rebels who control northern Yemen. The unending crisis in Opunembe has resulted in the loss of lives and property, with parts of the town currently deserted for fear of the unknown. There are now calls from several quarters for concerted efforts to tackle the situation, which led to the recent attack on journalists and arrest of some individuals in the area. Joseph Kunde has details.
Opunembe, an oil-rich community, is one with an admirable history that dates back to the colonial era. But violent activities in the last week have since breached the peace. The Deputy Governor, Lawrence Erujapo, while visiting the troubled community, was not too happy with the methodology being deployed by the special teams sent by the acting IGP. He believes they are infringing on the human rights of the people. This is as some women protested the presence of the policemen in the community.
Who was the person they were arrested today? Who would you arrest today?
One person that came up, young guys, it's not how they call it, a gun.
Construct?
A gun by itself. And when we were moving, he was trying to hide and was trying to, and we rush him. I have the SBT.
But was it a gun?
It was not the day ago. But he said,
If you have seen that what is entering only was armless, what you have needed to have done is to have just checked the thing for him and release him. So please, CP, see to that man is released. Because there's no business for detaining him.
But when we arrived, we saw some exiled chiefs returning home for the first time since February this year and were received into a warm embrace from the natives. They took us on a tour of their buildings that have been allegedly destroyed by some aggrieved youths, but things took a different turn when we were ambushed in the town. I visited my cameraman, who survived the onslaught with the intervention of the police days after he was discharged from the hospital. He narrates his ordeal.
They double-crossed me with a gun. If you move, I shoot you. So I stopped with also a knife. So when I stopped, they hold me, say who I am, and I told them that I'm a journalist. They pulled my shirt, pulled my trouser, used my singlet, took away my canvas, took away my shirt, like my t-shirt, and used my inner singlet to put my hands on the back and tied me like a criminal. They tied me. Before then, they beat me severely. 4 policemen appear like an angel, honestly.
A really sad development there, and we hope that the necessary authorities look into the situation in Opunembe. Now, in Rivers State, some civil society groups have expressed concern over human rights abuses that continues to threaten the country's democracy. The Stakeholders Democracy Network at a CSO roundtable in Port Harcourt wants government at all levels to take urgent action to nip the situation in the bud. Senior correspondent Uche Okoro has details.
The civic space talks about the freedom of movement, association, and expression in order to influence social and political structures. For decades, many activists have fought to expand the space, even to the point of paying the ultimate price. But civil society organizations like the Stakeholder Democracy Network say the Nigerian reality is still far from the ideal. In Rivers State in particular, they identify persisting issues ranging from high-handedness of security agencies to abuse of power by the political class.
Our aim today is to develop a communique that will capture all the civil space infractions that we've been witnessing in Rivers State, and we are transmitting them to the state government, the Rivers State governor, so that he can take a look at it and see those that will require policy or those that will require institutional intervention.
If there are candidates that you do not want to emerge in elections, you go to polling booths and vote such candidates out, but you don't have the right to stop them from campaigning. That is on the side of government. On the side of security agencies, the recurrent violations are police brutality and unlawful killing of citizens. It is still prevalent in Rivers State, and it is worrisome.
Alternative voices.
For the rights activists, the civic arena will continue to shrink until there is a functional system for accountability of government and other state actors. Of great concern are the panels of inquiry set up by the state governments after the EndSARS protests in 2020 that have failed to yield the expected results.
In this state, it got to the point that SARS had POS machines. They would take you to an ATM and ask you to withdraw money and give to them, transfer to me. They knew that even leaving a paper trail of transfer from a victim to a police official, nothing could happen. They knew nothing would happen. And the instant you know nothing can happen, it's over.
To further protect the society, the CSO say there will be training for police and paramilitary groups in Rivers State on the application of the Nigerian Police Act and the administration of criminal justice law. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.